Hey.
What it be like?
What's going on?
What it be like? What it be like?
What's up, people? I see some of you guys' faces in forever.
What's up, Queen Sanaa?
Hey, how's it going?
Miss
Hey,
Sanaa,
we
what's up, Miss
can't see
Lady?
you.
What'd you say, Hollywood?
We can't see Kimberly.
Oh yeah.
She might be coming back.
I'm back. Hey, Decent Rose.
Houston, what you been up to, man?
Good. Long time no see,
Am
stranger.
I blocked off? I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Somebody asking questions already.
That's what I was looking at.
Or they just gonna jump right in with the question.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. They ready.
How's everybody doing?
Good. Hey.
What's happening? What's
Hey.
happening?
Wow.
Long time no see, everybody.
Yes. Hey.
It's
Right.
So,
a very
guys,
long reunion.
yes. Check this out.
I
Good
can
to see
really hear.
everybody. You can hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
All right. So, we got an interesting topic for today. Let me go ahead and put this up on the screen. Okay. Should men and women have roles in 2023 relationships? We still believe in roles, should be roles, right? Before we get to that, let's find out what's going on in the movie. Right here. Get your computer up.
And now it's time for the news. Hot topics. Hot topics.
Yo, what's going on? What's going on, party people? I know some of y'all ain't been in the news lately, but let me bring it to you. We got two topics today, and one of you might have heard about. So we're just gonna briefly see what you're thinking about that. He did it, known as Combs, known as Love. You know,
Oh Lord.
his romantic partner, Cassie, had dropped a lawsuit.
Why you got your face covered?
Bombshell. This past Thursday, he dropped a lawsuit. But guess what? The lawsuit was about assault, about trafficking, about abuse, about this and that. I don't know how true it is. Who am I to say all of this happened?
Who am
All
I?
I know, because I'm not the one that say, well, they said, well, because I'll be like, well, who is they? Because I don't know who they is. But anyway, sex trafficking and how, during their personal relationship, where for one, I don't know how anybody sex traffic someone who dates to go sleep with someone else. But anyway, that's another story. So the lawsuit was amicably resolved on Friday, on the next day. This is the shortest settlement that I have seen from one day to the next day. P. Diddy offered her anywhere from $10 million to $99 million. 8-figure income, 8-figure settlement. They're not disclosing what that amount is, but all they know is between 10 million and 99 million. They say she wanted 30 million initially, way before she filed it, because she was trying to write a book. So they're not saying that Combs is guilty.
Right.
He just want to go ahead and settle it, get it over with, whatever it is, let it be, and so forth. So have y'all heard about that?
Well, we sure heard about it now. But yeah. It's
All right.
I mean, I got a few things to say about it, but I want to let somebody else tap in.
Well, I don't think they want to say anything, so you might have to go ahead.
I saw one. I saw somebody cover.
Yeah, somebody cut her lips through together, so you're not gonna get anything out of her.
Because, man, first and
Yeah,
foremost,
I want to hit it.
first
I
and
want to hit it.
foremost,
Yes.
just from my understanding, it's a civil suit because the statute of limitations on the criminal suit has run out. And apparently the NDA has also expired. So yeah, I could see somebody ready to tell some things. And what I heard was that he settled so that the findings would not have to come out in court. You know, and so I personally understand how someone can be trafficked in a relationship, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, especially with the age difference that was there. And as an abuse advocate, I'm not going to say any more about it.
Okay.
All that I say is, whether it's true or not, I just think that most of the time it all involves money. Because a regular person it can happen to, if she just had a regular boyfriend, he wouldn't have got sued. His ass would went to jail.
That depends on when she takes the court. That depends on the statute of limitations. And she absolutely could sue for monetary gain. Anybody can sue for monetary gain in that type of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. And I know why he settled. I mean, it makes sense to go ahead and settle if you know I can give her $30 million and be done with it. Or I could have some lawyers involved and they're gonna get $30 million plus whatever I lose. Because they can drag this out. They could drag this out forever and a day.
Whatever come out in public that he don't want nobody to know about, it would be everybody's business, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So
and whether it's true or not, when it's a lawsuit, they can say what they want to say, and then you have to almost prove that it's not true, but the damage has already been done and the money's lost. He lost a year's salary.
No, because his net worth last year was $1 billion.
Right. I'm just using that as a figure of speech, but I mean, what did he lose?
He would take a hit. He's going to take a hit.
I need to stop drinking this Sprite on camera, don't
I? All right, go on.
Second thing in the news, this is a good thing. You know, your boy Michael B. Jordan, you know, from Creed. They're going to be a Creed 4, and guess what? He up in a notch, another belt, becoming the director chair of Creed 4. That is amazing. And they thinking about bringing some new experience, new distinct experience to the film. So I'm excited to see what Creed 4 is going to be like. Hopefully, it's a little bit twist and things of that nature. So kudos to Michael B. Jordan for taking another notch underneath his belt.
Great job.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Who directed the last one? I thought Michael B. Jordan was the
Winkler,
director.
the guy named Winkler.
Was the last director?
Wasn't the guy that did Black Panther, I thought? Isn't it who did that one?
His name is Irwin Winkler.
I saw that on the screen. Maybe I didn't read it, but okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
But that's your news for today. Two topics. One kind of yeah, and one is buddy. So that's your news. Y'all stay tuned for next week's news. Something coming to you.
Got it. All right, let's get down to this topic of the day. All right, so check this out. I wanted to approach this differently, right? I was looking at this video, and the video that I saw, I thought it was very informative, and I thought she made some really valid points. Check this out. Let me get y'all thoughts, and here we go. 1 second.
Will, there are 12 universal laws, one of them being the law of gender, and every single thing has divine feminine and divine masculine energy, every single thing. So by law of gender, all of us have masculine and feminine energy, and it is about learning how to balance those energies. That's how we live a good life, with balance and harmony. So what has happened in our current society is that as women, we have been literally shaped and formed, influenced to operate in our masculine, and men are too. I mean, super masculine. There's so much pressure to operate in our masculine in our current society, modern society, because it's a go-getter, hustle, grind, work hard, ambitious, competitive, go hard type of energy, and that's masculine in nature. And so when it comes to women, if you love masculine men, and who doesn't, right? Let's just be honest, as women, who doesn't love masculine men? We love masculine men. So here's the problem though. Just like in our feminine, we love masculine energy. We thrive, we crave masculine energy. Guess what masculine energy craves? Feminine. So for all the ladies who absolutely love masculine men, you can't show up hyper masculine and think that that's going to be attractive to a masculine man. A masculine man craves your femininity. He craves your softness. He craves to be that strong provider, protector. He wants to be your knight in shining armor. He wants to be that strong man for you. But if you show up in your masculine and you don't need anybody, you don't need anything, I'm good, I've got it covered, I'm a boss, I'm the queen, I have it all figured out, guess what? Men need to be needed. Especially masculine men. They need to be needed. They respond to needs. They respond to, she needs me, my kids need me, my wife needs me, my sister needs me, my husband, my father needs me, my family needs me.
Okay. All right. So let me stop this real quick. All right. It's stop playing, right? Okay. So after listening to this, I was thinking, so I think it's obvious that we have roles in the relationship. And I think that it's confusing whenever people think that we don't supposed to have a role and everybody can do anything. I think every successful company has to have some type of, everyone has a role at a company. But that's my opinion. I'm all for you guys, but what do y'all think?
Whew. I'm waiting on other folks because it's
Go
one of
ahead,
those
man.
touchy. It's just
Let
one
the
of those
men go first.
Well,
Come on,
well,
Eric. What you gotta say?
You know, I ain't afraid to talk. You know, I'll say what I got to say. I just want to give somebody else a chance before I keep.
Yeah, come on with it, Eric. Come on with it.
I want to hear the men talk first.
But should men and women have roles in 2023 relationship? I don't care what year it is. Yes, you should have a role. The Bible talks about roles. The Bible talks about how the man should be the head of the household and things of that nature. That's a role right there. So for me to say there shouldn't be roles in 2023, there should always be roles. Now, what defines the roles in a relationship depends on not on only the two people who are involved in the role. Those are the two that determine, okay, how are we going to pay bills? Okay, when are you going to give me some sex? You know, when do I know to back off when you're mad? When are you going to cook? When do you
How
want
do
me
we
to?
rear children?
Huh?
What's that?
How do we take care of our children?
Yeah. How do we prepare the children? How are we going to make this blended family work out? Who's going to pick up the kids? Who's going to take them to basketball practice? So it has to be roles in order for a relationship, especially a marriage, to work. It can't work if you don't have roles, because now you got chaos. Everybody, you late picking up the child. The child was late at child care. Now you got to pay an extra $500 because somebody forgot to pick them up. So it has to be role, and more so for a relationship, it's very important. Even, okay, who's going to take the dinner tonight? Or when, this month, I'm going to lead the way on date night. The following month, you lead the way. So it has to be roles in order for the relationship to keep riding smooth in a Cadillac. So
I
I'll say
feel
I'll
I
start
feel
right there. And I'll pass the torch.
go
I'd
ahead.
like to agree with that statement. I'd like to agree with
Thank
that
you.
statement and the statement that oh Lord, oh, that was made earlier about it being like a structure for business. And I think of organization, the root word of organization is organize. So when you have two people just together and you're comparing it to like a business form, a agreement amongst two people or agreement amongst the organization or company period, and having roles in that organization or that business. The thing about it is um it's structure. It is structure, and
Yeah.
structure is needed in a relationship, structure is needed in a household. And like you stated, without having structure, you use the word of chaos. It's chaotic.
Right.
Nobody would know the role, nobody would know what they were supposed to do. Communications break down, and you know you have to have effective communication anywhere, in an organization as well as in a home. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
I think definitely that roles are necessary because they're necessary in any structured, organized environment. Period.
Yes. Yes.
Totally agree. I totally agree. I
Yes.
agree with that, and I like how you said this month I may do this, that month you may do that. The interchangeable aspect of the roles, I think, is the most important part of it. A lot of people want to just put one thing in one category and another thing in another category, and the biggest thing about it is everybody's relationship is different, and what works here doesn't work there. But
Yeah.
chaos is not it.
Right.
Chaos is not what any relationship needs. So I appreciate both of y'all points.
Thank you. Thank you
Mhm.
for your.
Yeah,
Let me ask
I
you.
agree. Oh, you want me to
Go
go?
ahead, Kim. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say I agree with what everyone has said. And when you say 2023, of course, I agree with Eric when he said it doesn't matter what year it is. It's still the same. When it comes to roles. But I think that the number one thing is to not put every couple in the same category with what roles are given. We have to do what's best for our house, and I know somebody, y'all mimic that or whatever, but I'm just putting some emphasis on that because a lot of people like to do that as far as this is what the woman does and this is what the man does, but that may not work for that particular man or woman in their household. So it's best to do things that fit you in your relationship.
Hmm.
I gotta agree. Period. I mean, I just want to see what everybody else would say, and I totally agree with that. There's always gonna be roles, but they don't have to be the roles that we used to see.
Right.
Where the husband did this and the wife did that. Those particular roles don't have to be to be what they used to be, but there still have to be some roles in place because at the end of the day, as Eric said, chaos. And I've seen that where everybody think that we just you do it when you get ready to do it, and I do it when I feel like it. But then something gets missed, and then you got chaos. Both of y'all sitting there in the dark because the other one thought that they was taking care of the light bill. I've seen those situations. The car had no gas because I spent my last on something else because I thought you had it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the chaos because there's no roles in place to kind of make sure of certain things. So I think
Right.
there's always going to be roles, period.
Hey Houston, I just had a couple just mentioned. Hey, did you pay the light bill? They're like, no, I thought such and such. No, you the one that's supposed to be taking care of the light bill. And the light company said we're gonna be cut off the next day. So, but it got paid anyway. So those roles are very important. Go ahead, Anthony. I know you're going to
Yeah.
say something.
Yeah. I was saying, even though it's like associated, I was thinking about it, right? Because we think roles is like a physical doing, like washing dishes or chores and stuff around the house. But just think about, listen to that feminine and masculine thing. I'm thinking like, well, they both have a role, and we got farther away from that, and I think that we're still trying to do other things that it just men are good at certain things and women are good at certain things. To understand that we balance each other out, and we shouldn't be trying to fight. We should be really trying to listen to each other and understand that, you know, I think that one thing about being married in a relationship is that you always got someone that can give you a different perspective to look at it. And sometimes we think just because someone doesn't agree with us, they're against us. No, sometimes you need someone that can say whenever you're wrong, you're wrong. And I just think that men play a role in a relationship to the woman. Obviously it does, because she's saying that we want masculinity. So that means that's a role that a man plays for that woman. Because if he do something else, he's not playing the role that she wants. So to me, we both have roles. And I don't know why in the society why we got far away from roles. We feel like we're too good to do certain things, or I don't want to do this. That's when you start creating selfish people that's not willing to play their role in a relationship.
That's because, Anthony, it came about when people wanted, I can do what I want to do. That mindset. I can do what I want to do when I want to do. I got my own this, I got my own that.
Why you had to shake your head though, Eric?
That's how it comes. Like a bobblehead. I'm going to throw a question out there, and I'm glad you kept Sanaa's comment up there. It said relationships are not prepackaged. What works for you and yours works for you and yours. Let me ask you this question. That prepackaged stood out to me. Thank you for your statement, Sanaa. Who do you think prepackaged relationships for it to be a traditional way? Where do you think that came from?
Time periods.
Yeah.
I think time periods in society.
Yeah. Our ancestors, them, what worked down there. A lot of times they think what works there is supposed to work now. And that's not necessarily true. Although it did have some good quality roles, traditional roles, but that doesn't mean what goes on this house should be the same thing what went on in that house.
Well, to me, the quality, the roles came about, like you said, during the time frame. Back in the day, a lot of women stayed at home.
Yeah. And
there weren't any jobs for them to go to, especially in our culture. There weren't any jobs for them to go to except for cooking and cleaning. So the man had to go out, work, do whatever he needs to do to pay the bill. Because a lot of women couldn't go to the utility company to go pay the bill. Only men could go in there and do, it was certain things that the way that people were brought up. So it stayed that way. And then you're going to teach your kids that way. But then when it got to the point where women were going to work 40 hours a week jobs and more, just as much as men, that makes a difference in the roles. I can't expect her to work 40 hours, come home, cook food, make sure the kids are clean, and then go and jump in the shower and I got something for you too. They ain't looking for all that. They're not looking for all that.
So you made that statement about the roles. Everybody is now making money and this and that. So why is it that women are still asking the man to pay all the bills?
Now, see, that's a whole nother story. I'm saying, I understand exactly what you just mentioned, but that's just the case. Yeah, but now to be honest with you, the ones that I hear, a lot of the women that I hear, they want a man to pay all the bills, really ain't paying all their bills anyway. Right. Not all women are saying that. Because I mean, some of the people that I talk to, they're just like, well, I want a man to make $100,000 and he needs to have this. You ain't even making half that. Right. And you're doing it by yourself. Mm-hmm. So if he's making 50,000 and you making 50,000, then you both can pull together and make 100. That's better than just 50,000 by yourself. That's just how I look at it. So you can pull together. But there's a lot of people, they want things their way. Some of it, they were just brought up that way, and they were taught that by their aunts and uncles. Men were taught how we supposed to act by our uncles and dads, and some of them weren't doing what they were supposed to do, but they telling us how to raise out, how we need to act, but they weren't doing it themselves.
Right. That's a good one, Houston. You said a lot.
I agree that you said a lot. I also know that there are a lot of women who grew up listening to all the women in the household trashing the men and setting this notion and paradigm about, this negative perspective of men and what men are supposed to do and what we should expect or not expect from men. And a lot of it needs to be undone. That's what the role should be, undoing those generational traumas and curses. Those are the roles.
But you notice, and I just said something. I just thought about something. Back then, women, they did put up with a lot. But the thing that I think that changed is that the part why they were so mad is that financially they couldn't do anything. And you would use when it happened, they hit them way harder back then. You talk, welfare and cheese line, poor was way different back then. Nobody really was doing that much. Everybody was like one check away from just being a poverty. But I just think that, it started with men, and that's it's the responsibility started with men. But I think that we always got to remember, if everything start with men, then it always start with men. You don't pick and choose. We realize that men have to straighten up. Overall, we have to straighten up. And those are pain and stuff that we cause. And it's always trickled down to the different experience with females coming up, and it just become reality for us. That's all that particular woman may see is that type of guy. And I think the women's defense mechanism is to shy away from that.
Is it a defense mechanism, or pretty much what you just said earlier? They were taught this.
But they pass it down as protection. Like they tell the little ones, look, don't never let a man. She's protecting him. She's trying to put her on her guard.
Right.
So to me, that's protecting, because she know from her experiences, men did it, but they can really do it then because they couldn't leave. They didn't have the finances and the resources then to do it like women do now. So that's why they were so mad, because they couldn't do anything. They were just stuck in a situation.
But not just that, but sorry, go ahead, Houston.
No, go ahead.
In a certain era, we were considered property as well.
Right.
We were considered property. So in a certain era, we were considered property as well. And I think some of the disconnect happened when we were no longer viewed as property. It had to be a different sort of partnership, you know what I mean, versus ownership. Well, so I think that what were you going to say?
No. When you said that is so true. And I had this conversation with someone last week. When you said that, people were property, it still was passed down from slavery. If we knew that we were property to someone else, and then we finally got married, okay, now she's my property. But I want to take care of my property, but everybody don't take care of property the same.
Right.
So now that I'm married to her, she needs to do this, needs to do that, needs to do whatever I tell her to do, and that's not necessarily the case. But back then, that's how some men looked at it, and that's when things started getting divided, where women felt like some women were getting abused. Some was treated very well. Some the husband went to the field, he brought part of it home, or he was snuck in his pants pocket, sweet potatoes, whatever he needed to do is feed his family, and did everything he could to raise his family. And he had 8 kids, and they grew up fine. And then he might go out and drink with his buddies on Saturday night and get a little wild or whatever the case is, but he came home. But we don't hear about those cases. We only hear about the cases about people being abused.
Right.
And then you have the ones that did not have that never got married. They just always had their opinion about, girl, don't, I wouldn't let no man do that. But you never had a man. You never had a husband. You just been an auntie. You've just been, a family friend. You've never had a husband. And you always telling people what they should do. That's what gets me.
Right. I have a question for the ladies, and especially the ladies watching. I can't help but think of... Oh, sorry, go ahead. Okay, anyway, I was just saying, can you hear me okay?
Okay, well, I
can't. Go ahead.
Tell you to need a little white flag.
Yeah, I was on... Yeah, that's the truth. I was only going to say that I can't help but think about the statement that Sanaa made about being property, and in some cases that the women would overhear other women talking about, or young girls would overhear their conversations about how men were. But the stress that that Black men went through, in some cases, just even having to take care of his family, make sure there was food on the table, deal with the man every day that he would sit there with, all the men coming together, don't have enough money, but you got to make things happen, take care of, your homes and pay the bills and all types of stuff. and the type of pressure that would be on a man daily that would lead him to drinking over excessively, to maybe even in some cases, having, indulging in drugs or whatever the case may be, just because he doesn't, it's just so extreme pressure that it just never gives him a break. So I just kind of think about that too as well. So it kind of perpetuates that whole mindset on both halves of men are like this, and then men are getting it from us, right? Because we perceive you a certain way. And then if they get into a relationship, well, eventually when you get into a relationship with one, and it may not be the best relationship per se, and then the woman goes through things, and then she can't help but resonate back to men are men are like this, men are like that,
Right.
not necessarily looking at what has been put on him on a daily basis. And then how about that underlying, sometimes that underlying dislike or distaste for your own woman, your own family, for the things that you have to do to maintain a household. So you have black man against black woman, underlying, fighting against each other, and not really realizing that really all it's saying is really pulling together. But in actuality, the whole societal system, the way it is so hard on each other, is really the demise of the family structure in the first place. So we don't see air working, but air is there. So we don't see the pressures upon each other, but yet they are there.
Right.
Right. Let me say this. I think that I realized one of the biggest things I think it changed relationships, it changed a lot of stuff, is definitely the money. And one thing I want to ask you ladies, and any ladies is watching, is if you make if you make more money than the guy, how are you going to make him feel like he's the head of the household in a relationship, if that's what it's supposed to be? What else can you do? And how do you look at him if you are the breadwinner? It's in the house. Do you look at him differently, or do you feel like you're the head of the house? And what can you do to make him feel like he's the man or the king?
Can I add this real quick? Just, I know Sanaa wants to say something. I'm going to say something real quick. The hard part is women, men. This is not to take away from brothers at all when I say this. So, like, most women, because of the situations that they've been put into in terms of household, they're running homes. They really, if they're in the right state of mind, they're extreme go-getters. The thing about it is women are just going to make something happen out of nothing with no excuse because they're forced so. And the thing about it is it's such a hard, even if it comes to that, like where she receives more than he does, it's difficult because her rate is so it's just the momentum is so fast because she has to. So if she generates more than he does, it's hard for the brother because she's on a faster rate because she has to. So I would say,
so how does he feel like a man then?
Union,
like what?
That's a discussion that I feel you would have to have that discussion with him, because it can't be a level of issues with self-confidence. Even though, yes, he needs to be the head of the household, but you have to have that discussion together.
Money and love is not connected. That's the thing we don't get. It's just not connected. I mean, you can find somebody that can love you like no other, but they may not.
We ain't talking about love. We're talking about money.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a difference between love and money.
Right.
This day and time,
there's a
people say they're married for love, but that's not necessarily the case. It's a relationship, and then you build off of that, because you're gonna fall out of love. Every marriage has those issues where things happen, and then you ain't staying because you love the person. You staying because of your religious belief or whatever the case is, and then it works itself out. So
has everyone been married? Has everyone on the panel been married?
For myself. Oh,
Someone
has
else?
it? Well, I have. Anybody
Okay.
else?
Right. If you've been married, I know Eric, I know Hollywood. Has everyone been married?
Yes.
These are married now, right?
Houston, you're
yes.
married? Okay,
Yes.
so I'm the only one who hasn't been married. Okay. Y'all enlighten me. Is a marriage not some sort of business partnership? Do you not enter a contract?
Yes.
It's not a matter of a contract, but yes.
Okay,
But
so
yes.
but it is a partnership.
Yeah, but it is.
So
Yeah.
if you're entering a partnership and you have an issue with someone making more than you, wouldn't that need to be a discussion up front before y'all even go into the agreement? Because I don't. What'd you say?
I was going to say this day and age, I think we do need to have that discussion. But in the past, it was never thought of as having that discussion, and it's more the discussion in our community. And the reason why I say that is I have white counterparts, and that are ladies that make way more money than their husbands, and he's a farmer or a truck driver. But when she gets home, she has made it known, this is my husband. He runs this. Just because I'm head of operations here at this company doesn't mean I run it the same way at home.
I've heard that.
I see that a lot. I work with people.
I've seen sisters do it as well. The thing is though, right? You also have a certain set of men that when you don't earn as much as they earn or more, then they're calling you a bum. Like, so are we supposed to make more than y'all, or are y'all supposed to make? It's confusing.
No, but I will say this: it puts more stress on the guy because he's trying to find his place, and he has to feel masculine. He has to feel like he's the man. But when you take that away, it changes things. Because just like the woman back in the day when she couldn't leave, you can leave. So you might not be tending to stay in it a little bit longer, like our grandmothers, our mothers did, because you had the money to just go. You got your own car. It's nothing for you to just switch it. So I think that's why I said money changed that. I think.
Well, let me. Can I want to speak for myself because I can only talk for me. Okay. The position where I am and how I see it is, I have never. Well, I'm not gonna say never. And if we talking about marriage, I would not marry a man that I'm making more money than. Now, here's the thing. At some point within that marriage, whether I'm in school, get a degree, get more degrees, whatever the case may be, and I continue to work on myself, and then I start to make more money than him. Me being the person that I am, the dynamic of us or our relationship is not going to change because we already have a foundation of a relationship and what our relationship is and what we mean to each other and the respect and so on and so forth. So that would not change for me. But going into the relationship, I wouldn't get with a man who's making less money than me because I believe that people should continue to grow. People should always seek to do more, advance and whatever the case may be. So if the man is not doing that and he's comfortable in being where he is at a lower rate and all of that stuff like that, to me, that's not going to go with my personality because I'm going to wonder, are you okay with being mediocre or being average or whatever the case may be? Because your thought process, it carries over into different areas of life. So you're going to start to resent me.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's your show.
I got one thing to say.
Yeah.
Is he okay with being? Well, how come he just can't be okay with being happy? Well, if he's happy with what he's doing,
yeah, that's fine. He can be happy. Okay, we can add happy to it. Okay, let's add happy to it. Let's add, and when I say mediocre, that's not just financially. I'm talking about building good character. I'm talking about working on your body. I'm talking about you as an individual, as a whole. And if he's happy with not working on himself at all, he's not the man for me.
Okay, I'm with you.
Drop that
now
mic.
I'm being devil's advocate. I'm being devil's advocate.
Come on, devil, let's go.
Yeah, I'm being devil's advocate. Now, this may not work for you because you made it clear that he, you know, you can't make more money than him. But if you're making $200,000 a year, I'm just using that figure. There's only about 1 or 2% of men that you may run across that's going to fit that category. So would you be happy just being by yourself because the men that you run across aren't making $250,000 a year, but you're making $200,000? But the guy that you met, he may be making $95,000 or $100,000, doing pretty decent by normal standards. Could you see yourself dating someone like him, or would you just like, I just be by myself with my $200,000?
If he's not a go-getter and he's not seeking to continue to elevate himself, then I'll be by myself. But if he is a go-getter and he is, you know what I'm saying, then hey, we can talk, we can have a conversation, at least we can date and see where it goes. But he would definitely have to have the go-getter mentality.
Because that resentment is real, Kim. What you said about resentment, it resonates. People get upset. They get upset because they're complacent and you're not, and they're mad at you because you want to do more. Some people are just, geared towards climbing the highest heights. 95,000 is nothing to sneeze at either. That's a fairly decent individual salary to make.
Well, 95,000 is way above the national average.
Right.
So see, that's the problem though. I think you get married because when you start reading those vows, everything y'all saying ain't none of that in that part. That's why
that's why it won't be a marriage. It won't be a marriage for me because I'm not gonna do it. So I'm not saying vows. That's my point.
So you got your own vows. Forget what God.
No. I said, but see what I'm saying is, I said I would not marry someone who's making lesser money than me. He's not a go-getter. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna say vows in the beginning.
You can't. But here's my thing: you can't really use the term go-getter. This is me. You can't use the term go-getter because there's some guys that they're go-getter and they work hard and they do hustle and they're making $95,000 a year. He's got a job.
That counts though. It's bringing in revenue though. As long as it's bringing in revenue, that's what I'm saying. That's not. However you go get it, you go get it. I'm just saying having that mentality.
Suppose something happened to me, right? And we're together, and I got a bad car accident, and now I'm no longer bringing the money. So do I not mean nothing to you no more?
No, that's completely different. That is completely different. That's circumstantial.
It's not
circumstantial.
Okay, on circumstances, okay.
It's
a conflated argument. And if you I know someone right now who was the breadwinner in the relationship, suffered, some circumstances, and now the wife is the one that's doing the earning. This person has started several businesses from the house so that the complacency is not there. When Kim says go get her, what I think about is someone who has ambition and has the desire to continue to grow and again reach higher heights. It doesn't mean you have to become a multimillionaire. Everybody's not going to see that in this lifetime. However, the desire to do more things. If I make $15 an hour, no, you're not going to make 11. Listen, I don't think that's an unfair thing to ask for. Let's all continue to try to do better than we're doing right now. And I think that's
I got another question then. Why should a man accept a woman then if she making less and he making more? What's the difference?
Well, you said
he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. It's completely up to him.
Yeah, it's to each his own. To each his own. But I got this thing. We all talk about money and who should be the head of the household and things of that nature. My thing is, when did money determine who is head of household? That's the difference between society and godly. That's totally different. When God said man should be head of the household, he didn't say that he should be bringing in this more than this. That head of the household is somebody who has order. Look at a business. Who should be head? The CEO. He should have order of his organization. It ain't necessarily who's making the most money should be head of the house.
That CEO making more money than the regular worker.
I knew she was gonna say that.
I'm just saying.
CEO.
But
listen.
But
yeah, that's the top.
society says that the person who's making money should be head of the household. That's where we get it all wrong, because guess what? Money fluctuates. Jobs are lost. Promotions are gained. You know, I may have more assets than the more money than you have. I may be making $95,000. She may be making $200,000, but don't have nothing to show for it. I may have 10 houses.
And I've seen that.
Up and down. So that's reason.
I've seen that too.
People be in and out of marriages, in and out of relationships, all because I got to go. There's somebody over here making more money than you, but guess what? The grass over there is artificial.
Yeah.
Which means
well, no, because but see, I said what did I say though? What did I say? I said at some point, if we are married and I began to make more money than him, that would not change the trajectory of the relationship. It's not about money for me. Just going into it is hard because men try to use women. They try to come up off of women. Some men are lazy. I have to see how much drive and ambition you have before I even decide to take you on, because no, I'm not going to be doing all the work and you're just living house to house off of me. No.
But let me ask you this question. Has that been the case?
It be a relationship if that's the case.
No, because I don't date men who make less money than me.
But you have at some point.
No, I have not.
So
that's
you get straight to the point. How do you know?
No. What do you mean? How do I know?
No, the reason why I said you have at some point, even when you were younger, I'm just saying when we just date somebody when we were younger that was just out and about, he's nice, you like him, then you might find out after you get a little into it that he really ain't got it like that. I'm just saying.
I mean, well, yeah, I've had cases like that to where, you know, for me, I had more going on than he did, which is the reason why I know that it doesn't work for me.
That's what I'm saying. That's what.
Yeah, it's like you're pulling dead weight.
I was saying that because I could tell by the way you were saying it. It was.
Oh yeah.
That you had that experience.
Oh yeah. Even when, and let me say this right here. Even when I was married, because I got married at 21. My ex-husband made more money than me. However, he didn't know how to manage the money. He was a poor manager. So that right there is a lot as well. Like, it's always like you have to make sure you're checking behind the person. It's just like having another child. So him making more money is the first thing. But him being able to manage his money is the ultimate thing too.
Anthony, put back up there what Drunk said.
I'd like to add something that I don't.
Can I just read this statement?
I don't necessarily.
Go ahead.
I don't necessarily equate more money to ambition. I think they're two different things, because a person can make more money and not be ambitious. There's people who are dirt broke and high ambition, that they have their dreams, but I hear every millionaire, so many of them talk, and they say, oh, it's not about the money initially, which is true. You have to get into the process, but there's a lot of ambition because the wealth doesn't come off gate. The money don't come off gate.
Right.
So they do a lot of sacrificing before they get the money, but when the money comes, it's tenfold. So it's like I don't equate somebody's, but you got to see the momentum. You have to see the drive. You have to see the progress. You have to see that they breathe it, that they drink it, and that they eat it. You got to see that it matches. But outside of that, money doesn't equate, because you can be with a dude with money and he is just as complacent as all get up. Once they get to a certain level, they feel like there's a period on the end of that. And you be like, wait a minute, bro, you're not dead. We're not dead.
That's why I asked that question. Because I've seen that. I know plenty of dudes that got mad money. And when they get off work, they go sit and play video games.
Yeah. Right. That's the reason why I said it's not.
Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say this. That's the reason why I said, I mean, overall, not just in money. I mean, a person who's constantly working on themselves overall, their mental, emotional, spiritual, like all of that. I mean, because normally a person who's working on themselves like that is going to have some type of ambition to do more, create more, and everything. So that's where I'm coming from.
Okay.
What
okay.
we need to do, we need to get somebody with benefits and not just money. Because you got money, I don't mean benefits as in insurance and things of that nature. Somebody that's going to bring love to the table. Somebody that's going to treat you with respect. Somebody that's going to be kind to your children. Somebody who's going to help out around the house, pick up things, help clean, help cook, help do that. Those are benefits. Just because they bring money in the house don't mean that they have it all together.
I thought you were talking about health benefits.
That's true. You
thought about health
serious about
insurance, right?
that.
401k. What's that?
That is true.
Listen,
And going back to what I said, overall working on himself.
Right,
Well,
because
the reason why I
ambition.
dug deeper into that. Go ahead. The reason why I dug deeper into that is because when you first said it, and you still mean that, he has to make more money than you, whether we're not going to talk. And see, when you said that, I thought you just meant money overall.
No.
Okay, so that's why I kept digging into that, because I'm like, but what if you're making this? Because if you're making $250,000, the chances of you find a man that makes more than that want to be with you is slim. That's the only reason why I said that. So,
a black man.
Well, and if you get a white one too, if you get a white one, that'd be extraordinary.
But if I'm making 50 and he's
Kevin
making
Samuel said the
51, he's
same
still
thing.
making more than me, right?
Right.
Additionally, that ambition, my
Say it
perspective
again.
is that ambition is directly tied to feelings of self-worth. If
Right.
you do not have self-worth, it's going to show in how you show up in your relationship, at your job, in your world, in your sphere. You have to have a feeling of self-worth. And it isn't just about the money. I totally agree. But if I'm a go-getter, that means my wheel is going 40 miles an hour and yours is going 10. One of them wheels is going to fall.
Woo, Chad. Somebody gonna get left.
It's like a competition, though. But should it
Yep.
be a competition on who makes the most?
It's not a competition.
It's a partnership. I'm going to go back to it's a
Yeah,
partnership.
but because you got a promotion and now you making 10,000 more than me, well, I should be competing against what you're making so I can make more. It's gonna keep going.
No.
You should say congratulations, baby. I'm proud of you.
Right. Be proud of me. Don't be jealous. Just be proud.
If I can't be proud of you because you jumped to this, now I have a problem. I have no
Exactly.
I have no issue if my woman makes more than me.
Yeah.
I have no issue. Only time I have an issue is if she makes it an issue.
Right.
Now then I have a problem because now you're trying to make me feel a certain way. But
I like that.
but everybody does not make crazy money. And no matter, and when you look at the table, most of the guys that you're going to meet aren't going to make 100,000. Everybody think they're gonna meet these guys that make $100,000, but you don't. That's few and in between, whether they black or white. Because if the average is 45,000 to 60,000, when you meet somebody that make 100,000, it's a very slim possibility that he's gonna be interested in you. And he's making that kind of money because he got his choices. But then there's a guy that might be making 85,000 or 80,000, but he know how to change oil. He know how to chew a timing belt. He knows how to save money other ways, or he's connected with people to get things done.
Do you
And you be
believe
like,
Now, you put a number on that, though. I never said 100,000. I just want to make it clear. None of us women said an amount. We just said he has to be making more than us. That could be $5,000. It does. We did not say $100,000.
But they're going in the comments like we said that. That's the crazy
Exactly.
The ladies never
We did not say that.
The ladies never said that. I've only gone by the shows that I watched in the past, not on this show. But when some women are saying that they want a woman, somebody making 200,000, 300,000. You ladies have never said that.
Divisive. A lot of it is divisive. And I'm going to say again, a lot of it is a sense of entitlement. If he does make 100,000, 200,000, you're not entitled to his funds. Have a seat.
Right, exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you cleared that up in my head because you guys never said that. I didn't know people were looking at it that way.
One quick question that just came to my mind. If both is making this amount and this person making this amount, especially if you're married, isn't that one amount pretty much when you're married?
Right. Exactly.
So why?
Right.
So that money is really ours.
Because in
Except for the
2023,
stuff that I
sometimes
hide
it's not
in the
looked at
trunk.
it like that.
Right.
So you don't think couples should have their own account as long as like they can have a bill account and then their
Hold
own
up.
separate
Wow.
account?
Wow, that
To
kind of sounds
each his
stinky to
own.
me. What you
No.
got?
You know we
No,
don't have our
no,
own account.
no. The only reason why y'all say that, the only reason why y'all say that, and just in case it don't work out, you're one step ahead of the game.
No. See, no, that is not why I said that.
No.
We got 3 accounts.
I don't believe that.
Mine.
I believe in separate.
Exactly.
I believe in that.
The real answer
Thank you. Because I do too.
to that is everybody has their own agenda as far as how they do their money. So I can't speak for other households. I can only speak for what
Thank
was
you,
going
Eric.
on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't even want to go down that road because every household is totally different.
Right.
Right.
Same as the road.
And the household knows is happening.
Because my money is my money.
What
And your
she
money is
told
my
you.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. That's the problem.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, he ain't smiling. He's not smiling.
Hey.
That ain't fit too well with you.
Oh.
Let me ask a question.
Okay.
What's up?
Like you said, we were joking about that. But in most cases, men, if we're making, I'm not gonna say we're making more money. The men take money, put it in a bill account, and do, in most cases, they put money in a bill account. When we go to dinner, we might try to take care of that. If I see the gas is low in the car, I'm gonna put some gas in the car, the whole 9. It's rare that you're gonna pull your wallet out and jump ahead of him to pay for anything if you see him reaching for his wallet. So when you said that statement about your money is my money and my money is my money, we kind of know that's the case. Because even if you make way more money than we do, you're still not going to just jump ahead and pull your wallet out to take care of something.
No,
No,
I'm gonna always be in my feminine. I'm gonna be in my feminine. I'm gonna sit back and let
call
you
it
do
feminine.
That's hilarious.
We call it money.
What is feminine? Feminine
I
is
think
holding
it's
back.
okay to
feminine
surprise your
I'm
guy.
gonna drop that black card.
You know, you said, you said being your feminine. I got something to say about that. You said being your feminine, right?
Yeah.
That means you're not gonna pull out your card, right? Because right?
No, he said for the most part. He didn't say always. He said for the most part. So I said for the most part, I'm gonna be in my feminine unless you do it.
Hold back, right?
But you might want to surprise your guy
if I reach
every
in your
now
wallet
and
and get that card out,
Hold back, right?
so you can stay in your
Yeah, sometimes of course. Yeah.
It's the same way y'all do with the cooking. Y'all hold back because you can.
See, that's a different story.
And you know, it's a relationship. You're holding back. Stop holding back.
That's a different story.
Take out that green
That's
card.
a different story.
Give it up. It's mine too. Give me your wallet. Give me your purse. Give me your Gucci.
Listen.
Check on your boy, y'all, because
it's a completely different story when you say relationship and when you say marriage. This is 2 different situations.
Marriage relationship.
Yeah, but it goes deeper though, because I got some commitment to you that I don't have in just a regular relationship.
Right.
So how do I know that you're going to be this way in the marriage if you don't show me examples of it in the relationship?
You're going to get some examples. You're just not going to get the whole thing.
Right. We talk
you're
about
going to get little snippets.
Exactly. Because if you're giving all that just in a relationship, what would be the point in elevating it to a marriage?
Exactly.
I get it.
Someone says silence between a husband and wife is like poison. The longer you don't
silence.
When you have silence, when you don't communicate, and things just blow up. Like somebody have an issue with somebody making more money, and down the road you get married and so forth. Now because they didn't say something before you got married, they kept their silence. It blew up. Now that you're married, it becomes an issue. So we need to communicate effectively to get to know one another, and so that people will know what we're thinking, and so that it don't crash later on when we thought we had something good. You've been hanging on something the whole time that I had no clue that was bothering you. So in a relationship, if your role is to effectively communicate with your partner.
Can I add the word honestly on there to honest effectively communicate? Because if you're not being honest, if you're not telling the truth, then just throw communication out the door.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are not being honest.
Yeah. You're right. Disingenuous.
That's why it breaks down. Right? That's why it breaks down. Because somebody told a lie.
What if it breaks down because he knows that you can't handle the truth?
Oh Lord.
That's a lie. You can't tell me what I can handle.
Oh
you
Lord.
Can't tell me that.
Look, I'm just using that statement because some folks use that for a lie.
But I know that, that's a stigma that, we can't handle the truth. No, you don't want to be honest. You don't know what I can handle.
That's true.
Right.
That's
No,
true.
if they say it one time, then they know you can't handle the truth.
No, try me and find out.
Anytime somebody blow up 10 times in less than 2 hours, you can't handle the truth.
Well, listen, if they blow up that much, then they need to be in anger management and not
they can't handle adulthood if they're blowing up 10 times an hour.
Because they gonna be blowing up on everybody.
It happens.
No, but you know what? I've learned once you start telling yourself the truth, the hard truth, you could take truth from somebody else.
Yeah, I like that, Kim. Go ahead, Kim. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You ended with something that sounds good, yeah.
Right. And it makes it easier to discern the truth too before they come and tell you the truth. So
Right. So we're the end of the show for tonight, you guys.
Right.
And other than that,
that's the end of the show.
That's the end of the show, y'all.
are we done?
Wow, that went fast.
It wasn't long enough. By the way, drunk, if he made 95,000 and I made 110,000, that would be fine. Those are very small and very petty numbers.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm with you on that. I'm just using it as an example. But I'm with
But
you.
if I made 110 and he made 30, that's
no. Because he gonna still have to pull that card out.
Look, there's some people now. They're saying that they ain't making but 25,000, but she wants a man that makes 150. That's what I'm getting at. Some people.
Appreciate it,
okay.
bro. Appreciate it, man.
You better get that woman that making 25.
No, that's you.
I'm gonna go tell my